Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. It is day 2. I'm wearing my wizard shirt. This is the second day of our countdown for the Mercury Oracle to arrive. The donations have been pouring in, pouring in. We got 12 days. So today's question is, what does my soul need me to know right now? We're going to be asking my creation here, the Mercury Oracle. It's a pick a pile, so pick a card and then we'll expand upon it just like normal. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's get into it. Everyone, this is the Mercury Oracle, and before we get started, before you choose your pile, I just want to remind everyone that there is a tip button down below. If you find this helpful, go to that tip button, leave a tip. We're trying to raise $4,900 in the next 12 days so I can build a shipping station, among other things, get these shipped out. I had to use a lot of my own resources to get these made twice, as the first factory disappeared. They did a terrible job. So we have 3 cards. We've got Retrace Your Steps, we've got Jupiter, and we've got the Be Yourself card. I'll give you a moment to decide what it is you would like to expand upon, and then we'll get into it. I'll put the timestamps down below. Right on. All right, welcome pile number 1. If you chose the Retrace Your Steps card, this is your reading. Retracing your steps is typically about going home. I want to take a moment. Oops, where did my... Excuse me, I had to adjust the mic. I want to take a moment to read the excerpt from the book as just this is the oldest book that I have, actually. This is the first prototype I ever made, which is kind of fun for me to revisit. Talking about Retrace Your Steps. I'd love to check in on what I wrote, because sometimes when I'm making something like this, it's kind of a channeled situation. I don't always remember what I wrote. The farther back you can look, the farther forward you can see. That is Winston Churchill. Often the answer we seek lies on the path behind us. It is the past that has brought you to this moment and to this inquiry. Step by step, it has been under your feet, and on it you have crossed innumerable other paths. But this is the path you chose. You have met everyone you've ever known here. You have been lost here. You have found your way here. It is the embodiment of all you've ever known. So much has happened. What have you forgotten along the way? Your solution requires that you revisit a place and time along your journey, but do not fret. In going backwards, you are moving forwards. You know the way, and the path always leads home. Or perhaps you have been here before and gleaned this place's lessons. You may think there is no need to return, yet history has a way of repeating itself. When you retrace your steps, you can solidify what was done well and what was done poorly, and use this to your advantage. Now, let's get into this. So, you've got Retrace Your Steps directly in the middle, and the first thing that pops out to me is that there is this sort of guidance towards clearing out. Every reading in the past few days, this has popped up, to spend time alone. There's a lot of sort of messages of courage in here. We need to cultivate courage. This person's heart is glowing. This is the Find Spirit card. This is finding courage, finding life, letting life move through you. You've got fire in this location. And then you've also got seeking your destiny here. Now, we've got the Bridge card, and we'll expand that out a little bit later. But a lot of this has to do with you having the responsibility to clear your mind. I see a very parallel situation with 3 of these little offshoots here. I always make these spreads up as I go, and most often when I open up a reading, I like to make a little spiral galaxy. So this is your spiral galaxy, and this is the thing that has the most weight in your spiral galaxy. Now, Saturn above you, Saturn is the kind of a harsh energy. He's like the father figure of the zodiac, and he rules responsibility and growth, essential growth, right? It's hard energy sometimes, but for you, you may be running around a lot, filling your time with a lot of different things, filling your mind with Netflix and watching things before you go to bed. But this is saying like you need to take the time to clear out, to clear your mind, to get clear. This is about creating time and space. Now, over here, you've also got the fire card, which is finding the courage to do something alone, right? This is saying spend time alone. And again, all of our readings have had this in the last few days. A lot of the same messages. So finding fire is like finding a passion within you to, maybe you've been avoiding it, but this is an act of non-avoidance and going for it, spending this time alone, because what is at stake here is your destiny, going after something that you are truly destined for, right? So something lies on the other side of spending time alone, because through that, right, you will find that your past, there's something in your past that can be healed. Now, retracing your steps has to do with going back somewhere that you've been before. This can be home. This can be a state of remembrance. This can be, for me, this pops up when I ask about other art practices. I'm a musician as well, and I'll ask about it, and it just says, yeah, if you want to do it, then go back through, pull out all of the things that you've learned. He's got little memories and little skills represented in those dots along the way. They're almost like, they're these like balloons of memory. And so wherever you're thinking about revisiting, it's saying first we need to get clear. First we need to spend time alone. Because if we go back to these places that we were before and we don't bring the version of ourself that is here now, and we end up the version of ourself that we were before. See, so you need to say no to something as well. This is a call towards saying no to something, or perhaps it's someone. For me, this feels like a boundary. Sometimes it takes a lot of courage to create boundaries around something, because you've got at stake your whole new you coming through. Right, we've got I pulled this for the middle card, but to remain uncluttered, I put it at the top. Let me make sure that's being seen. Cool. You've got the Shift Dimensions card here, which is you're moving into a new reality. And so through the way of no, which is also the way of struggle, is to create a path forward towards a yes. The more we say no to things until it is resonant with our yes, the more we are in alignment. So for you, the practice of saying no to something and doing so with courage is going to bring you a new way forward. This is the card of reformulating the way that we do things. And this is also the card of kind of reformulating ourselves, of letting things in ourselves burn out of us, or burning them out, kind of like the phoenix. And so we can make space for new stuff. And the trick to this card is that it is the notions of ourselves. We cannot express who we are in words at the end of the day. And when we have an idea about ourselves, usually that's an expression of words that we're saying inwardly, or a story that we've made. So this is about removing these ideas about ourselves so we can make way for newness. So you've got your gut here. Healing your past, and then it's somehow connected to your gut, right? Healing your past right now is a practice of sharing your joy, the things that bring you joy, And look how similar these cards are here in their coloring, in their presentation. This has to do with sharing our dreams with the world, and I'm in the practice of doing this now. I'm actually working towards sharing a lot of different big projects that I've worked on over the past few years, because I have really big dreams, and was taking kind of a year-long detour to make sure that we got this done. But I've still been tinkering behind the way, and I'm learning what it is to share my joy again, to heal my past. And so I resonate with this very, very, very deeply. To heal your past is the way of going in and being present, because you've got this moments of clearing your mind, of meditation. This is an active meditation. We can reframe. When I see this shift dimensions, we can reframe the things that happened in the past to be beneficial and a more succinct story for now, because sometimes we feel very defeated. Sometimes we feel like the past is creeping in. If you have this like sinking feeling or something like that in regards to going back towards something, like the past is going, they say the history repeats itself. Well, it doesn't always have to repeat itself, especially if we're in the mode of joy, and that joy is in alignment with our dreams. So that brings me to this corner. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but I'm putting the picture together, and you've got this softness, right? We want to bring in softness into this situation, whether that is for you or for someone else or for a new beginning. Allow yourself to dream and to be compassionate with yourself on everything that's happened to you in the past, right? Whatever it is that we're revisiting and whatever we're bringing back from that visit, and sometimes this is going back and communicating with people. Sometimes this is going back and doing a lot of things. But for your particular situation, it's going back and revisiting something so that you can move into a new place entirely, a new dimension, a new way of seeing, a new way of being. But to do so, we have to have compassion for ourselves and everything that has happened in the past, right? This person is being kind to someone smaller than them. The kindness, this can be your inner child. This can also be someone in particular. But it really wants you to know that through this process of compassion, that it's going to be opening you to a higher state, a new dimension, right? Clearing your mind is an act. Meditating is an act of creating a more compassionate self. If we actively are meditating, it's way more difficult to be unconscious in moments where we lack compassion. And so having compassion for ourselves is an opportunity right here for a new beginning, right? Go through the gateway is here. You've got a gateway, which is a period of time when an opportune window is open, or a window of opportunity to start something new. So you have some sort of really beautiful new beginning here. Now, I want to expand upon this, because your whole destiny is waiting for you. And when we get the nudge through this card to seek our destiny, it's saying take action towards our destiny. Now, it's not a coincidence that we have a windy road, and then we have the end of this windy road, which it never really ends, but this person is at the top of that mountain, at the top of that windy road, at their destiny, at their destination, right? So let's expand this bridge card. So the way this works is we will take this system has a map system in it. We are making a map for you to navigate. So what has brought you here? Let's make a little road to the bridge. What has brought you here? Is this breakthrough energy, Uranus, finding and addressing demons, whatever that looks like. And then in your emotional world, water always represents emotion. You have yes, so saying yes, you wanting to move forward. And then in our sky here, in the your mental world, you have Mercury, which is very cerebral. So it's kind of saying like, and it's also the namesake of the deck. It's about wanting to deliver the goods, is my feeling. So across the bridge, once you transverse between your mental and your emotional, you see this situation where you have moved, gone somewhere new, physically moved your body, and gotten out, risen out of any sort of conflict through these Jupiter energies, which is luck and abundance and fun and wealth. And you've got that right next to gifts. Jupiter is the great benefactor. None of these things are coincidences. And in fact, I feel like this reading is almost for me as well. And I'm so glad to see that there are others on a similar path. But because you've been through a sort of dark night of the soul, and you've had to have this sort of all of this sudden radical change over and over, or this breakthrough energy, and now your soul is ready. Yes, we've got Mercury, who rules messages from the other side. He rules business. He rules a lot of things. Now you're ready to move on, which is really, really wonderful. So I'm going to ask the cards for a final parting thought for you for pile number 1 along your journey. Lovely. The companion card to retrace your steps. I have a feeling that many of you watching have followed me along on this journey, and it's been a very uncomfortable journey along the way for many of us. I've spoken to a lot of people that are backing this project, and many people have moved many times, or they have decided to look for a new home, things like that. But what this is all bringing you, and your lucky cards, is that we're moving into a new place, a whole new shore. This is the card of travel. This is the card of newness. This is the card of becoming new through trying things that are new. And we're going to find a whole new level of organization through this process. And we're going to find our community, the people that want to work with us, be with us, right? So this also is saying that there's something that you can release. So if you've had something that you've wanted to share with the world, or release out into the world, this is an act of liberation, whether it be a relationship, an object, a piece of art that you made, something that you're holding on to. Liberate yourself by liberating it. So this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful read. So try to get some meditation in, spend some time alone, and make sure that you're compassionate with yourself over everything that's happened, because the past is not now. Even though we're revisiting where we once were, we can do so through the path of joy and dreams. Joy and dreams. Anyhow, if you found this resonant, we are on our way. The donations have been, or tips even, I hate to call them specifically donations because I love to trade and provide something of value, but go down below. I'm also going to be running auctions and things like that over the course of the next 12 days. I have a ton of art. I love to make puzzles. I love to make music. I love to share with all of you. So if anyone has any suggestions, put it down in the comments. And I'm going to keep reading these every day. So if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe to this channel. And 12 days 1,000 of these are going to arrive, and I want to ship them immediately. So we are on our way to that 4,900. Thank you very, very much. And if you'd like to stay tuned, we are going to do pile number 2, which is the Jupiter card. Pile number 2, if you chose Jupiter, I've already pulled some cards for you, but I want to begin by reading the Jupiter entry of the book. Now, this is my first book that I ever produced, which I'm excited to have just found. Sharing with Jupiter is never a dishonor, and that's Molière. Luck and good fortune are associated with this benevolent planet. Jupiter asks us to grow by keeping our personal philosophy good and true. It tasks us with seeking spiritual answers, even if it requires that we scour the globe. This is why Jupiter also looks over long-distance travel. Optimism is at play when Jupiter is drawn into a reading. Our success and accomplishments are within the influence of Jupiter. However, if we are not careful, Jupiter can also lead down the primrose path to laziness and destruction. Now, the metaphors for this are success, luck, good fortune, seeking answers, long-distance travel, sloth, laziness, and instability. But for what I see here with Earth there and being yourself here and community here, and this gateway here, is that this is an abundant reading. So let's get into it right away. What I see, the first thing that comes to my attention is this side here, which is has to do a lot with people. You see all of these people. There's be yourself here, all one or none, the community card, and be kind, the card of compassion. What I see here is a group of people being kind to you, being compassionate to you, working to ensure that there is goodness being spread in that situation. Yes, absolutely. So, and then we've got this over here, and it says, stop doing anything but being yourself. And I think that this part of the reading is relatively interesting. All of the readings that I've done over the past few days have this arrangement in some way, shape, or form, which is to spend time alone and the find fire or find courage or find something that is motivating you to be alone, spend time alone, have alone time. This doesn't mean that you have to be alone all of the time, but with this paired over here, right, it balances out. This person is spending time alone so they can come back to themselves and be themselves. Now, within the context of a crowd or of a group of people, that's when our personalities really come out. It is through others that we develop personality, because we are both essence and personality. Our essence is more in alignment with who we are when we come into the world, and that we cannot fight. That is like our astrology placements. If you want to learn about your essence, look at astrology. If you want to learn about your personality, look at your friends and how you surround yourself with people and how you interact with people, because we pick up something from absolutely everybody that we come into contact with. So it's important that you surround yourself with people who are healthy, who are happy, who are absolutely inspiring, things like that. Good people. Okay, so from there, I think, the medicine of this particular situation here is we need to ground ourselves in ourselves. And I kind of want to read that as well. Ground yourself. And there's methods for doing this, including like laying down. There's meditations where you imagine yourself as a tree and you let your roots go into the ground. But to ground yourself is the literal quote that I have here. It represents I am, your I amness. On occasion, the eternal state goes off kilter. This is often due to the fact that the Muladhara center is out of balance. Our root chakra fortifies the energy of survival. Any stagnant or overactive energy in the root chakra can cause us to lose our balance and connection with ourselves and instigate a fight or flight mode. A healthy and balanced root appears in our lives as having a strong connection with family and friends, feeling wanted and loved, being content with our bodies, and having financial confidence. The first chakra connects us to the earth through our animal needs. Our grounding center exists in conjunction with the circle of life. Earth nourishes the plants and animals and nourishes us, and in turn, our waste returns to the earth to nourish earth. When we are at ease, we let go of things that no longer serve us. Muladhara, or the root chakra, is associated with the gastrointestinal system. So a lot in there about friends, family, community, and being ourselves within that. Now, the trick to being yourself is to remove expectations of others, of how you think others would want you to act. And so this is a sort of feedback loop. When we have good people around us who support everything that we do, in a way that is expansive, in a way that is supportive, in a way that is beautiful, then we have the comfort and the stability to be ourselves. Now, Jupiter here in the middle with all of these beautiful things surrounding it, it feels as though you're having some sort of Jupiter activation, but honestly, it probably has to do with luck and abundance surrounding your dream life, the dreams that you have, the hopes and dreams that you have. And to get to those, we have to have our community, but we also have to let the world move through us. I always say the same thing when this card comes up. The shamanic version of concealment is letting the world move through you. Now, to be transparent, as this man is, transparent, is to be totally seen. Now, if you are standing in the forest and you are so one with the forest, you just blend in with the forest, right? And this is saying that you can just let the whole world come to you. When I think of the earth, I think of all of the earthly things that are represented in the earth. This is wealth, this is other people, community, this is travel. It's all of the things that Jupiter really represents. In a strange way, because this is our planet, Jupiter is a different planet. Earth does not really show up in astrology, but it is who we are, essentially, because we are earthlings, right? So there's a lot to unpack here. And then I also see that there's a lot of chaotic situations here coming to order for you as this gateway opens, right? This is an opportune time, probably in your astrology, honestly, to find more order in your life. Now, if you didn't watch the first pile or the first reading, go back and watch that, because there's a lot of parallels here. Now, we're asked as well to activate our intuition. Now, to activate your intuition, a lot of people think it's just the third eye, but our body is one thing that's a lot of other organs and feelings moving together to create intuition, to create our life, to create our senses. And your intuition is a bodily practice. It is an embodiment practice. So this is a time to act out of your intuition. Take the time to develop your intuition within your whole body. I believe that when we act out of intuition, we are acting from a higher power. We are acting out from a place of our dreams and from a place of safety and comfort. Our intuition keeps us safe as well. So I'm going to pull 4 more cards. But before I do that, I want to take time with this. It takes courage to go out into the world and spend time alone. Now, spending time alone doesn't mean you have to do it forever. It doesn't mean you have to do it for a month. It just means on a day-to-day, sometimes for a week if you can go on vacation, even if it's like a working vacation. Spending time alone and coming back to yourself is incredibly important, because when we love ourselves and are our own best company, we are never alone. We are never lonely. And we have everything that we need inside of ourselves, and they unfurl within that space. So find the courage. If you've been avoiding spending time alone, find the courage to spend some time alone, because a lot of this rests on this, because you have both of these energies here, and you've got that community waiting for you. So I'm going to pull, excuse me, the train is loud today. I'm going to pull 4 more cards for you, 4 lucky cards. What do we need to know here? So much wonderful energy here. It's a new day, and through your positivity and through the way that you show up in the world, you're bringing about this new day and this new life in this new place. It's almost as though your soul is traveling to somewhere new. Now, this is through the act of being present and changing and making changes as you go. Both of these people are traveling. One of them, this is the struggle card. Sometimes it takes work to plant your garden, and that can be a little bit of a struggle sometimes. Imagine you have to move some big stones, right? Dig fence posts, things like that, right? We're planting seeds, we're making sure the soil is good. It takes work. Sometimes it takes struggle. Now, the trick to struggle is a balance of saying yes and no. If we say yes to everything, it scatters our energies. If we say no to everything, we are stagnant. And so throughout this process of kind of what I hear intuitively is like weeding our garden, we will be taken to a new place. Perhaps this view was blocked before, and we needed to get there by starting this new beginning. And now this person is looking out at what eventually becomes this sunrise. So whatever energy we put out into the world, we get back, because that is how it works, even if it takes some time. So this is what I have for you, pile number 2. And if you found this useful, I am raising money over the course of the next 12 days. I'm trying to raise $4,900. The donations and the tips and the sales have been coming in, and I am so grateful for everyone. This is going to allow me to recoup some of what I consider to be a large loss, and build a shipping station now that these are on the way, and get these shipped out immediately. This is going to cover a lot for us, and be that new beginning, be that opportunity, be that community that I have dreamed of. So I'm going to be showing up here every single day. If you don't follow my socials yet, like and subscribe on this channel. Go over to the Instagram and go over to the Discord. I love Discord. And yeah, this is what I have for you. Thank you very much. Consider leaving a tip below. And I'm going to have way more offerings this coming couple weeks. So thank you all. Welcome, pile number 3. If you chose Be Yourself, this is your reading, and I see a lot of great stuff immediately. A lot of healing, a lot of new beginnings, and some really wonderful little situations here that are full of great direction. So being yourself is directly at the center. I'm going to start this reading off by reading the Be Yourself entry in my first book that I ever wrote, which I just found. Be yourself. All emotion is involuntary. when genuine. That's Mark Twain. You are you for a reason. Let no one stop you from being in the world in a genuine way. The thoughts, feelings, and especially expectations of the people around you can be so influential, but these things do not make us whole. So who are you? Better yet, what expression of yourself do you truly wish to radiate into the world? To be truly and uniquely you, it is important to honor your heart, your mind, your desires, and censor nothing. Sometimes this card is pulled when we are asked to remain solitary, primarily focused on our relationship with ourselves. To befriend ourselves more deeply and to learn what we are capable of is immeasurably powerful because we are immeasurably powerful. It is in times of deep solitary introspection that parts of ourselves that have been neglected come to surface. Being yourself is not always easy, but it is always necessary. Ask yourself, who am I assuredly stuck with for the duration of my life? The answer is you. Honor yourself. Now, one of the biggest things here is self-respect, respecting one's self. So what I want to start with is this line here where we see this person going inward. It is the same image, but now this person is going inward through the layers of their own being, and observing the observer is looking at how we interact with the world and how the world interacts with us and is reflected, right? The outer world reflects our inner world. The inner world reflects our outer world. To observe the observer is to understand that we are the world in a lot of ways. So self-respect is coming into play here in the context of this crowd mentality. This can be a workplace, this can be friends, this can be a community. To honor yourself within that community is to have power and bring power to that community. Now, I always suggest that we bring good people along with us who support who we are no matter what. And this is a scenario here telling us that we can be ourselves, especially if we take time to watch ourselves, right? Take time to look at how our thoughts and our stories and our feelings about who we are in alignment with respecting ourselves, are in alignment with the good and true, and are in alignment with taking care of ourselves first before we take care of others. This person is in this lineup of other people, and it feels like when we are grounded in that feeling, then we are truly powerful, right? We have power. When we are totally ourselves, we are on our mission. I oftentimes think about bees. Bees don't work. They just are. They're not going out and doing work. They're going out and being bees. So if you are totally yourself, life is like being a bee. It is not necessarily work. And that's how this dynamic can play out here too. If you're not finding that you can be yourself in your workplace or around your community, this is a time to reevaluate that. Now, you've got two cards of self-reflection here, and everybody is kind of getting these in some way, shape, or form, but this person is taking the time to meditate on their dreams and on their illusions, and bringing anything that is disorderly inside of them to order, because Neptune can rule our dreams and our sleep and our emotions, and can oftentimes also bring about feelings of being unclear, being unsure, right? Having illusory ideas. So taking that time is going to do a lot for you. Take time to meditate. This pops up in a lot of different readings, but taking time to ourselves to meditate is incredibly powerful. You've got the sun here on multiple occasions. We've got the sun here, we've got the sun here, we've got the sun here, we've got the sun here. The sun is popping up a lot for you. There's a sun in there. This is kind of a sunflower. you've got some sort of new beginning that has to do with the bigger picture of your life, and the abundance that's coming in with your life. This is something that is new. Maybe you've been through a lot in the last little while and you're finally seeing the clouds part. Today is the autumn equinox, which is interesting because it has to do with harvest. So maybe you are able to harvest something that you have already planted, which is my feeling with this bigger picture. There's so much space right here and so much abundance. Jupiter has something like 36 moons, and this spread is based off of this card, which is a bigger picture card. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, the sun is shining on you. The things that feel good, we don't need excuses for the things that feel good. They can just feel good and be good. There's nothing wrong with the sun. The sun radiates heat and joy and brings us life on this planet. So listen to your feelings and how they are receptive of the goodness of the world. Okay, there's no story that needs to be made here in regards to that. So you can even what I'm hearing in this is rest assured. Okay, and you've also got this New Knots card, which is interesting because we've got Venus here, we've got this crowd here. So Saturn is above, so you've got a lot of planets today: Sun, Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Venus, a whole galaxy over here, which makes me feel like a lot of things are aligning for you. Now, you do have the responsibility to speak beautifully nonetheless. I want to read you the insert or the excerpt for this particular card as well. Just, I'm getting an intuitive hit to do so. So here we are. Now, this is a poem by Lewis Carroll. "'Twas brill again the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe, all mimsy were the borogroves." That was Lewis Carroll making up words. Metaphors are magic. They help to reshape and break the seemingly concrescent illusions of objects, ideas, and scenarios of life and reshape them into something more, which is Mercury energy at the end of the day. Our boy Mercury. Metaphors are the only way to describe the indescribable. Sometimes the only way to answer a question is with a riddle. How else can you describe the indescribable? This is the work of poets and magicians. When we speak of dragons, we are talking about forces of nature. When we speak of heaven, we are speaking of somewhere here and now. When we describe our reality as enchanting and magical, it becomes so. This is a card of speaking skillfully, beautifully, and clearly to illustrate a greater reality. It appears in readings when it is important to adjust your language around a given situation to manifest a better reality. What we speak about comes about. You have a responsibility right now to communicate beautifully and adjust any communications that you're having towards a way that is more robust and more beautiful. So, yes, it's an opportunity. Yes, it says, yeah, I say yes, and it says yes. Yes, this is an opportunity for you. Speaking about this stuff is going to open up more opportunity for you. Now you've got Venus here. Venus is what we love and how we love. This particular placement makes me feel that maybe there is someone from the past, because this is the card of the past, that is maybe coming back, or that you have been thinking about. Or maybe you had some sort of love situation that was not necessarily the most healthy, or it ended abruptly or something like that. Well, through Venus energy, we can heal Venus energy. Yes, go, get moving through the Venus energy, through the things that we love and the way that we love. And I apologize if my head keeps popping into the into the frame. Through the things that we love and how we love, we're able to heal love from the past, love situations from the past, because it's not necessarily the other like if something goes awry, that's not necessarily our Venus acting up. So when we bring more love into a situation, we can heal something that has happened to us that we're bringing into the present moment. It makes us more present, right? So this is it's basically just saying, get on this, get healing this. Don't be afraid to love. Don't be afraid to find someone to love. Don't be afraid to do the things we love, because in doing those we can heal our heart and our mind. So I'm going to pull 4 lucky cards for you, 4 more closing cards for you for the Be Yourself pile. And if you take anything away from this, be yourself. Okay? You've got gifts coming for you. Your destiny is in alignment. This is a relational situation, so looking at yourself and looking at others. Sometimes this represents a love relationship. You have gifts here, which is also Jupiter. You've got your destiny waiting for you, so something that you're destined for. Now the trick to this is to actually go for your destiny. You don't want to waste your life by sitting on the couch, by not going after the things that you're destined for. And then we've also got this time of getting our energies mirrored back to us. I always say that we understand others only as far as we understand ourselves. So this is a beautiful card in this context, because it ends with organization. So becoming more organized around the things that we love is going to be really important for you, especially because you've got gifts and your destiny waiting for you. Now this is what I have for you, pile number 3. If you found this to be at all useful, like this video and go below, and there is a tip jar. Feel free to send me a tip. I'm currently raising $4,900. We've already raised a couple $100 today to ensure that these get out into the world. Now, I had to produce these twice after factory did some shady stuff, but I'm feeling really good about it. I funded a lot of the second creation of these out of my own pocket, out of hard work, and I'm just so excited that they're going to be here in 12 days. Excuse me, the terrain is aggressive today. So as you follow along in the next 12 days, I'm going to be auctioning off a lot of art, making new things with you, offerings of readings every single day. I appreciate all of you, and if you find it in your heart to add on to your order, or to simply just go leave a little tip in the tip jar, this is your reading, and it's very, very beautiful. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Receive those gifts of Jupiter and the sun, and be yourself within the crowd. So thank you very much, and happy autumn equinox.